Only one British Railways standard Class 8 locomotive was ever built, the 1954 built number 71,000, Duke of Gloucester. Errors in both its design and building led to it acquiring a poor reputation among its crews, and no further examples were produced. As British Railways opted for a diesel and electric future, the Duke had a short working life, going to the scrapyard in 1962. From here, it was rescued by a group of enthusiasts who restored it, modified some of its original faults, and ended up with an outstandingly powerful and efficient machine. It should have been at Carlisle yesterday and today, but failed on its northbound journey. Now, despite my advanced years, I've never seen the Duke, so you'll appreciate my disappointment. I arrive at the Citadel just after 9:30. Nothing of much interest is expected for some 3 hours, and so I decide to take a hike and see if I can find a fresh viewpoint. The extensive car parks north of the city centre are all former railway sidings. I have flown the drone off here in the past. Can I use them for ground level filming? Let's see. Now if only people didn't use car parks for parking cars, how much easier life would be. Junction. The line going off to the left, subject to a 10 miles per hour speed restriction, leads to the extensive network of sidings and depots at Kingmoor. The regular hourly shuttle service arriving from Dumfries. Alternative trains do the complete 2.5-hour journey from Glasgow via the old Glasgow and South Western main line, Kilmarnock, Nithsdale and Dumfries. Just across the tracks is a building which will be familiar to travellers along this section of the West Coast Main Line, the old Carlisle State Brewery. At the height of World War I, the British government embarked on one of the biggest social engineering experiments ever conducted, the State Management Scheme. Navvies from the largest munitions factory in Europe, near Gretna, flooded into Carlisle with high wages and a thirst to quench. Their eagerness to binge drink had the pubs packed to the rafters. Carlisle witnessed a level of wild behaviour that shocked locals. Also, munitions workers with hangovers and explosives was not a great combination. The government stepped in and took over the running of Carlisle's pubs and off-licences. The strength of the alcohol was reduced and opening hours were restricted. The Tesco train, at nearly half a mile in length, and subject to the 10 miles per hour limit here as it enters into the yard, will take a long time to pass by. That's the River Caldew in front of us. Its source is on the fells of Skiddaw, north of Keswick, and it flows through the village of Caldbeck, famous for the huntsman John Peel, who is buried in the village churchyard. Just after passing beneath the railway, the Caldew flows into the River Eden. Time is marching on. I've a long walk back to the Citadel, and the Cumbrian Mountain Express is due to arrive from London. Time to head back. There's not much point in even trying to get near the engine with a camera. Yes, it's Tangmere again. Just in case anyone's confused, the Duke was never intended to be on this service. It was working for LSL and hauling a private charter. It should have returned light engine to Crewe today. Off to Upperby for servicing, watering and reversing, while we await the next charter, the curiously named To the Birthplace and the Backbone, a branch line society special which will run not through a platform road, but through Track A, inevitably at a snail's pace.
The next train to depart from platform 5 will be the 1336 Northern service to Leeds. Following the Gloucester, Ribblehead, Cecil, Hellifield, Gargrave, Skipton, Keighley, Bingley, Shipley and Leeds. This way to Mayfairs. On the 1336 Northern service to Leeds via Cecil.
Well, that was something different. A first-time view for me. And another first-time view. I've never seen a 93 before. Well, they don't find their way into Dumfries and Galloway. The Railhead Treatment Train, the dirtiest train on the railway. Yes, it's that time of year again.
else coming. Oh yeah, it's angry. What was that? Oh, that adventure. What was it? Ah. A nice shower of steam.
The Mountain Express heads off over the Settle and Carlisle line on an increasingly sunny day for what should be a glorious run. Real-time trains shows that it ran to time all the way to Preston. But then things went awry, and I've no idea why. She left Preston an hour late, and then ran about 90 minutes behind schedule for most of the run to London. For passengers with onward connections from intermediate stations, it must have been a nightmare scenario. Perhaps passengers on the trip who view this might be able to fill in the details. My final freight working for the day. With Corkicle Tunnel closed, nuclear traffic from Sellafield has to take the very long, very slow route around Morecambe Bay to reach the West Coast Main Line at Carnforth before heading north over Shap. As I pack up for the day, thanks for watching, and here's to the next time.